A public hearing was held virtually today discussing a project proposal for a new judicial center in Springfield. The proposed new trial court would replace the city's two existing courthouses, ones marred by terminal illness linked to mold. Western Mass News reporter Addie Patterson joins us live in studio with more information. Addie?
Abby, I spoke with an attorney who represented workers affected by the toxic mold inside the Roderick Ireland Courthouse. She tells us while this proposal is a positive first step in the right direction, the project isn't moving nearly as fast as those working in the courthouse had hoped for.
It's been 2 years since the case settled officially, and it doesn't seem like a lot has been done.
On Thursday, a virtual public hearing was held discussing a project proposal to replace Springfield's two existing courthouses. The proposal offering a much faster construction timeline than the city's current plan to purchase land and build a state-owned regional justice center.
They're going to rent a building or lease land from somewhere, and so that way, it seems to me, if I understand it correctly, they can start building and doesn't have to wait for the courthouse to be demolished first. So that hopefully will speed up the process a little bit.
Western Mass News spoke with attorney Laura Mangini. She explains that even if the proposed project gets approved, employees will still have to work inside the Roderick Ireland Courthouse location on State Street until the new courthouse is rebuilt. The potential start date for construction likely wouldn't be until 2026.
That's still a year and a half out before they even begin to build. And so people at the courthouse are stuck in this courthouse that we know has cancer-causing mold until the building is done.
And even with a hearing for the proposed project, that doesn't guarantee a new courthouse in Springfield, something Mangini says is upsetting.
I think the lawsuit officially settled in 2023, around March or April of 2023. So we're almost 2 years out yet since that time, and we still don't really have an actual plan in place, which is disappointing.
In past years, toxic mold was found inside the courthouse. It's been linked to dozens of cancer cases from people working inside the building, and an additional 5 people died from ALS. Local leaders speaking out at Thursday's hearing saying they want to see the courthouse rebuilt at one of the current locations on State Street. Mangini tells Western Mass News that option isn't favorable by employees.
There are concerns that underneath in the dirt and the soil is already contaminated. The other problem is that no one feels comfortable at that location. And so just knocking it down and then rebuilding it is not going to get that public trust, that courthouse trust that we need back.
At this time, there has not yet been an exact location on where a new courthouse would be rebuilt. Mangini encourages residents to attend meetings and public hearings, and additional public hearings on this proposal will be held in person on January 7th at 5:30 p.m. at the Springfield State Office Building. For now, reporting in studio, Addie Patterson, Western Mass News.
Thank you, Addie. New tonight, Wilbraham police are investigating